When I began searching for my family, I had to be 18 years old because I was in a closed adoption for my safety, my sister's safety, and also the respect and safety of my adopted parents. I was very fortunate enough to have had contact with my caseworker from my adoption at the age of 3 all the way until now. Actually, if I wanted to, I could call her right now and talk to her. I had had a conversation with her when I was about, I think, 18 or 19 years old. And she had told me that the last time she had spoke to Ashley, who's my birth mother's name, that she was living in the surrounding areas of El Cajon, California. And I was trying to figure out, like, how do I find her? What avenues do I need to go down? And during this time, there was this thing called 411. I don't know if you know what that is, but you would dial it and it was like a phone book and you would find out, a phone number to a business or a person. And so I had called 411 and asked if there was anybody in El Cajon, California, and nothing came up. And I decided to do it while I was at work again. And I remembered that my caseworker said surrounding areas. And so I was like, I need to say that. So I got done serving a table and was in the back kitchen waiting for some of my food to come up. And I was talking to a coworker and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this phone call real quick. I'm gonna dial 411, and I did. And then all of a sudden my heart stopped. And the operator lady said, yeah, I'll connect you. And it was so fast. I wasn't really prepared like I thought I was. And my heart started racing. My palms got sweaty. My stomach got really nervous. And I looked at my coworker and I was just like, oh my God, they're connecting me. Oh my God. And she was like, I got you covered. I'll watch your tables. And this guy answered the phone and I was like, hi, I was wondering if there's an Ashley there. And he said, yeah, hold on. So casually. And I was quivering. I was so nervous. And my caseworker had told me that Ashley had a very small, tiny voice. And this lady gets on the phone and she's like, hello, this tiny little voice. And I was just like, hi, my name is Brittany. You don't know me. I started to tell her how I was adopted at 3. And in mid-sentence, this lady says, oh my God, is this Brittany? Is this Brittany, my baby girl? Is this my baby angel girl? And I was just like, oh my God. Yes, it is. So she knew exactly who I was. And I was so excited. And so I proceeded to have a 2-hour conversation with her. And it was during that conversation that I realized that her illness was real. She suffers from bipolar. And so she's kind of like all over the map. You can kind of tell within communications. She, in one sentence, said, I love you so much. You're my baby girl. To, you are a lady of the night and you do horrible things. And mind you, she doesn't know me. She hasn't seen me or spoken to me, obviously, since I was 3 years old and taken from her. And so she had these things kind of made up in her head. And I very quickly kind of changed my conversation tactics. And it was like I was talking to a little girl. And we had talked about my brothers and how she'd made contact. And so it was very important to me that I got their phone numbers and tried to make contact there. And she was very worried about them abusing us, abusing me. And I was like, I'm an adult. I'm older. I'm able to protect myself. There's no way that they're going to hurt me. She ended up giving me their phone number and I was able to contact them. But it was a very difficult conversation, especially it being the very first conversation I've ever had with my birth mother, ever.